blood oath. Let's get right into it. Now, we know that at the end of episode 2, we discover that it's Reena, and Reena is gone. Okay. And so now the Popo has to go to the dodo and inform the family of what's happened. And so daddy's having a meltdown. He cannot handle it. He's outdone. Mom is actually going to have to go and ID the body, which, I mean, aside from everything else, how tragic, you know what I'm saying? Could that be for the mom, knowing that they already had a strained relationship? Meanwhile, at a party across town, we have Josephine, Kelly, Dusty, the crew, okay, all at the party, and a news alert comes across the screen. And of course, they're reporting that Reena's body has been found. And that she has been unalived. And we have this look of shock on bootleg Regina George's face in that moment. And she's telling the girls, just stay cool, calm, collected. And it's like, but how can we? Okay. On the other side of town, we have Cam and we have Rebecca, and, they are talking the case. Rebecca finally is notifying the police that Josephine has confessed to unaliving Reena, but here we see more. There's more to their history, more to the story. Kim is like, Josephine couldn't have did it. I did the test. I drove 100 and something miles per hour. There's no way that she could have got from where she said she was to where Reena was unalived, based on the camera footage, because we saw Reena leave the site walking at a certain time. And after that, she was unalived. Her injuries initially, she was still able to walk. The medical examiner, as they're examining her, are basically like, there is no way in God's green earth that she could have walked away after this most recent beating. It was like she was in a car accident. That's what those injuries were synonymous with. Okay. And so then we meet Warren G. Now, we'd seen Warren G before, but we hadn't really met him. But we see he and his girlfriend Samara, because apparently he's unhoused currently, right? His dad's run off with this woman, and he needs to wash his clothes. And Samara's like, fine. And so she's like, you don't separate your clothes. Let me help you. Going through his clothes, we see some blood-stained items in his bag. And I'm thinking, oh, Warren G. Oh, Warren G., what did you do? Next, we have Reena's mom at the morgue making the identification. And what was even more atrocious, aside from the unaliving, the beating, the groupthink, the mob mentality, the attack on her person, I think was the fact that someone had burned a bendy into her forehead. Just, again, speaking to all of the different dynamics that this show, is really speaking to, because not only was she a person of color, in a fairly non-diverse town, but just like the treatment that she received, and why in anger would that be the thing that you would do? You know what I mean? To me, it almost made it feel like a hate crime. But moving right along, now we see Rebecca and Josephine, and they are at the group home. And basically Rebecca's like, why did you lie to me? You didn't have to lie to kick it. And she's like, I didn't lie. I did it. I'm the reason that she's gone. And when are you taking me to New York? And I'm like, bootleg Regina George, go and sit somewhere. And basically Rebecca's like, you know what? You don't have to lie. You know what I mean? That's never a thing. I know what it's like to be in your situation. I know what it's like to be a teenager here. But you don't have to lie to kick it, basically. Next, we're having a flashback to months ago, right? And we see Reena's dad taking the door off the hinges. Okay. And the mom is like, listen, Reena, you decided that you were going to stay out all night and not call us. She was like, I was just at the Seven Oaks or whatever, the group home. And mama's like, that don't matter. You need to do what you need to do. And so again, we're still seeing kind of the dissipation of the relationship that Reena has with her family. As she has been introduced to this new friend group, right? Thinking that her life isn't good enough, that it doesn't add up, and overall just wanting to be accepted. And so next we're back at the group home, and Reena is hanging out with her bestie, Dusty. Now, Dusty is the one that I told you guys that I felt like was really a friend to Reena, but I think she succumbed also to the pressure of just that kind of group think, or what it means to be popular, or what it feels like to potentially be isolated, right? And so they're sitting there, honey. They made them a glass of Kool-Aid, and Dusty's like, well, I'm about to meet up with Bootleg Regina George. Do you want to go? And Rena's like, sure, of course I want to go. And they're smoking a cigarette, honey, out the bay window. Now we are in the cafe, and this is where we officially meet Warren G by name. Rebecca's sitting there, and she notices that he's looking for work to try to get a meal. And she's like, you know what? Order whatever you want. I got you. It's on me. And he's like, really? Why? And so immediately he seems like such a nice, sweet kid. But I just know there's more to the story with him. I just absolutely know it, feel it in my spirit. Okay. And now we are back to the school where, honey, these same kids that ripped her apart, made fun of her, called her the beast, did all of these things, now are acting like they are so concerned. Oh, it's rest in peace, Reena. We love you. I mean, memorials, cards, balloons. And it's like, when she was living, y'all wasn't thinking about her. Not at all. And the uncle says as much. These kids are out here playing because just a couple days ago, they wouldn't give her the time of day. You know what I mean? They were just beating her. And so now we are flashback again. And this is, honey, into a gang initiation. And I said, well, dang, a gang initiation. So, of course, Dusty brings Reena, and Kelly and Bootleg Regina George and Warren are all there. And this is Warren G's initiation day into the gang, where he is going to get jumped in, okay? And the girls are just basically mad, well, mainly Regina George and Kelly, because they can't get jumped into, okay? That's their issue. And so they beat him down. I mean, he's sprawled out in the middle of on the ground, just, wore out, honey, just wore out as he should be. And so now Reena gets home. Oh, and the girls do a blood oath. I didn't show that because it was just gross. We see kind of the supervillain that is Kelly. And again, I think, like I said, in another video, a short I did, that I think I have PTSD from Kelly Kapowski from Saved by the Bell. And so all the Kellys of the late 80s, early 90s, something was wrong. You know what I mean? Not all. Not all, but this Kelly, something in her eyes ain't right. And so now Reena's back home, and she's like, just with her family. And the dad is like, why don't you invite all these girls over? I want to meet them. I want them to meet us. We can order whatever we want. And she said, whatever we want. And he's like, sure. And so she's so excited about that. Now let's go to present day. Now Rebecca has a file, and I probably need to rewatch the episode because I'm not sure what's in the file. Drop it in the comments below for me. Because I'm like, he said, if you lay down with dogs, you get fleas. Again, she's writing her book, One Track Mind. Really, Rebecca is kind of I don't want to speak ill of the dearly departed, but I don't know. The character that's being portrayed in this, I'm not a fan of her being solely just concerned about her book. Next, we have Reena inviting the girls, and reluctantly they say, yeah, we'll come to your little party. And they make note of her boots because apparently these are the new Steve Maddens with the rose. And apparently those were like the look. Okay. Those were the shoes that you wanted. And so we're in the cafe, and we see Kelly and Warren G awfully cozy, awfully close. And Samara is there. She works there, of course. And she's like, what's going on with that? And he basically is like, I have something to tell you, but I'll tell you later. Meanwhile, Josephine is looking for an outfit to wear. And Kelly is talking to Dusty and basically just kind of fawning over, Dusty is asking about Warren G. And Kelly is like, well, I don't think he'll have that little girlfriend much longer anyway, because she apparently knows something that we don't know about the situation. Meanwhile, Samara is with Warren G. And again, he's basically like, I need to talk to you. And she's like, I can't believe you put your hands on Reena, right? Because she finds out that he was more involved than any of us thought or suspected. Okay. Now we flash back to Bootleg Regina George, and she goes in the closet, honey, and she sees Reena's boots. Baby, she sees Reena's boots, and she's like, how did they get here? Because as bad as she wants us to believe that she is, she's really not the G she thinks she is. She is not a young Gotti. Now, Warren G wants to be all poetic and play Samara a song, 187, and this represents what happened to Reena, and that he was there. At the very least, he participated or witnessed the crime, you guys. That's the episode. Drop it in the comments below. Let me know what your thoughts were of episode 3, Blood Oath, Under the Bridge. And if you haven't already, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.